This is Barry Zalma speaking for Zalma on Insurance on YouTube. Continuing with the last 3 claims commandments for the insurance claims personnel. We will start with Claims Commandment 13. Thou shalt educate yourself continuously. Insurance and the law of insurance is changing continuously. As regular readers of my blog, Zalma on Insurance, or my books, Zalma on Insurance Claims, are aware, new cases on insurance issues come from the courts daily. Facts and practices that are clear and unambiguous today will be ambiguous or wrongful tomorrow. Acts that are considered bad faith today will be considered to be good faith tomorrow. One jurisdiction will think one way and another jurisdiction will think another. The key to becoming a professional claims handler is education and information. For that reason, the professional should, among other things, read my blog, Zalma on Insurance, daily, read the insurance trade journals daily, most of which are available for little or no cost online, such as Best's Review, Business Insurance Magazine, Insurance Journal, Claims Journal, Claims Magazine, the American Agent and Broker Magazine, the National Underwriter, Underwriter's Insider, Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter, which I publish twice a month, and dozens of others. Simply go into your Google search engine and put in the word insurance, and you will find more than you will ever need. Join and participate in insurance or investigation-related LinkedIn groups. Join and participate in insurance or investigation-related Yahoo groups or Google groups. Subscribe to the newsletters of the IRMI, the Insurance Risk Management Institute. Subscribe to FindLaw's summaries of recent insurance decisions. Take insurance-related continuing education classes. Obtain an insurance-related designation like CPCU, CLU, AIC, etc. Go to illumio.com or experfy.com and take my video courses available online. It's also necessary to comply with state regulations regarding licensing and continuing education. For example only, California now requires of adjusters 24 hours biannually for independent insurance adjusters and public adjusters of continuing education credit. Courses must be in the license type held. If multi-licenses, any course that fits the licenses you have is allowed. 4 hours at least every 2 years of ethics for the life health agent or fire casualty broker agent, independent insurance adjusters, and public adjusters. The education methods available and approved by the Department of Insurance include classroom, self-study, and online courses. Independent and public adjusters' renewal date is May 31 of even-numbered years, and you must establish that you have complied by May 31 of each year. Excess hours can be carried forward to the next renewal period. Excess hours completed after expiration date do not carry forward to the next period. Courses may not be taken more than once in each renewal period for credit. CE, or continuing education credits, are reported online daily to the California Department of Insurance, and classes within 30 days after course completion. Licenses can be renewed online at www.insurance.ca.gov when you click on the online license application. There are exemptions. Agents who are 70 years or older and have had a California insurance license in good standing for 30 or more continuous years do not need to fulfill the continuing education requirements. Non-residents are exempt if the licensee meets home state continuing education requirements, with the exception of non-residents selling annuities or long-term care policies. To be a professional claims handler, it is essential that you understand the covenant of good faith and fair dealing, the basis of insurance, how insurance works, and have a high level of skill in the profession. And you can gain this high level of skill by a continuous course of education and training. Claims Commandment number 14, thou shalt adjust. The claims handler has been called an adjuster for centuries because he or she is capable of adjusting to different situations. In modern practice, an adjuster is, quote, the person knowledgeable in insurance, retained by an insurer for the purpose of assisting the insured in proving a loss to the insurer, a person who expresses to the insured the fidelity and good faith of the insurer. Close quote. The adjuster is also a person who, quote, for any consideration whatsoever, engages in business or accepts employment to furnish or agrees to make or makes any investigation for the purpose of obtaining information in the course of adjusting or otherwise participating in the disposal of any claim under or in connection with a proof of loss, or engages in soliciting insurance adjustment business. This is stated in California Insurance Code section 14,022 or 14022. It is the obligation of the adjuster to determine the amount of loss, the cause of loss, and the final settlement in cash value after all factors have been considered. The adjuster must be capable of working with various people under multiple difficult situations, determine the dispute, and resolve it in a manner that is acceptable to the insured or claimant and the insurer for whom the adjuster works. The courts of many states have created a tort called bad faith conduct of insurance contract requirements, or the tort of bad faith. Although bad faith is grounded in contract principles, it is treated as a tort for the purpose of assessing damages against an insurer who has treated an insured wrongfully. To understand the tort remedies available for bad faith conduct, the adjuster must understand a fundamental principle of contract law, that every contract imposes on each party a duty of good faith and fair dealing in its performance and enforcement. The adjuster provides the service promised by the insurance company. The adjuster is the living embodiment of the insurance company, the person the insured meets when he faces a loss and needs help. It is the adjuster and the help he or she gives the insured that is the essence of the promise made by the insurer when the policy is issued. Without this service, insurance becomes meaningless. The adjuster is the foundation upon which an insurer is built. If the adjuster is not professional, if the adjuster does not provide the service promised by the insurer, the promises made by the policy are broken, and the insurer will first lose customers and probably, and quickly, and ultimately fail. Claims that are owed must be paid promptly and with good grace. To do otherwise would be to ignore the purpose for which insurance exists, to provide service, protection, and security to the insureds. To do the task, the adjuster must be flexible and ready to work within the confines of the contract of insurance, the covenant of good faith and fair dealing, and simply good manners, to work as a partner with the insured or claimant to resolve the claim to the satisfaction of both. If a claim is properly adjusted, litigation between insurers, insureds, and claimants will diminish and in many cases disappear. The adjuster will never do anything to deprive the insured of the benefits for which he or she purchased insurance, because that is the essence of the tort of bad faith. Claims Commandment 15, the penultimate commandment, thou shalt not be cruel. Insurers pay to the satisfaction of their insureds and claimants approximately 95% of all claims presented. However, there will always be claims made on policies that do not provide coverage. The lack of coverage can be as simple as a fight in a bar with an all-exclusive assault and battery exclusion in the policy, earthquake damage to a house with no earthquake coverage, a flood to a house with no flood insurance, a landslide that wipes away a house and lot where landslide is excluded, an auto accident 2 days after the policy expired, vandalism to a car that is only covered by basic third-party liability coverage, a business that intentionally pollutes a nearby waterway, where that type of pollution is excluded in almost every policy issued with what is called a total pollution exclusion. Advising an insured or claimant that there is no coverage on an insurance policy always falls upon the shoulders of an insurance adjuster. How the adjuster fulfills the task of advising a person that he is on his own and can expect nothing from the insurer can cause or avoid a lawsuit from the insured. It is essential that the adjuster deal with the claim denial in pleasant, empathetic, and kind fashion. The adjuster should never be brusque and cruel. The adjuster should never take joy in denying a claim, although it is the adjuster's obligation to comply with the terms and conditions of the policy. The adjuster should be kind, considerate, but also clear, concise, and provide advice that the person whose claim must be denied, why his claim must be denied. That means the adjuster must provide the insured with the results of the adjuster's investigation that reveals all of the facts relied upon, how they apply to the specific wording of the policy, and how the facts and the policy wording are interpreted by courts of the place where the claim occurred. If possible, the denial should be written. It should be detailed and presented in person to the insured or claimant, so that the adjuster is available to answer any questions the insured or claimant have after being advised that the claim is denied. No insurance policy covers every potential claim or risk of loss. Some casualties are either uninsurable or not insured. It is not only correct, honest, and moral to explain a denial to the insured in states like California, for instance, it is required by regulation. The California Fair Claims Practices Regulations, Section 2695.7b1 provides, quote, where an insurer denies or rejects a first-party claim, in whole or in part, it shall do so in writing and shall provide to the claimant a statement listing all the bases for such rejection or denial and the factual and legal bases for each reason given for such rejection or denial, which is then within the insurer's knowledge. Where an insurer's denial of a first-party claim, in whole or in part, is based on a specific statute, applicable law, or policy provision, condition, or exclusion, the written denial shall include reference thereto and provide an explanation of the application of the statute, applicable law, or provision, condition, or exclusion to the claim. Every insurer that denies or rejects a third-party claim in whole or in part, or who disputes liability or damages, shall do so in writing. Now, sometimes these writings are more than is capable of a non-lawyer type adjuster. And in such situations, especially if the claim is complex or very large in amount, in dispute, it would be useful to the claims person and the insurer to retain counsel to write the denial letter for the insurer. The regulations are clear. They do fail to take into consideration the duty of the adjuster to deal with the insured with empathy and personal contact. It just requires a cold written statement. The cold written statement must contain difficult to understand legalisms, and therefore the adjuster can be available to the insured or the claimant to help understand the difficult language of the policy. Fulfilling the regulation to the letter is cold and cruel unless delivered by an adjuster who, through the investigation process, has developed a rapport and trusting relationship with the. This concludes the recitation of the 15 claims commandments. Those commandments are: 1. Thou shalt confirm coverage. 2. Thou shalt always conduct a thorough investigation. 3. Thou shalt communicate often. 4. Thou shalt understand the policy. 5. Thou shalt communicate with the insured. 6. Thou shalt document the claims file. 7. Thou shalt never lie to an insured. 8. Thou shalt not suffer fraud to succeed. 9. Thou shalt document the claim file. 10. Thou shalt not pretend to be a lawyer. 11. Thou shalt empathize with the claimant. 12. Thou shalt stay with the claim. 13. Thou shalt educate yourself continuously. 14. Thou shalt adjust. And 15. Thou shalt not be cruel. If you wish to understand how to fulfill all of these commandments and develop yourself as a professional claims handler, adjuster, claims representative, claims supervisor, or claims manager, you should find it useful to seek information from some of my books in what I call the Insurance Claims Library, which is available on my website at zalma.com. And these include Zalma on Insurance Claims, a 10-volume work, The Examination Under Oath, Insurance Fraud in 2 volumes, the Compact Book of Adjusting Property Claims, and the Compact Book of Adjusting Liability Claims. All of these are available at my website or at Amazon.com as both paperbacks and Kindle books. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you found this video useful.